everybody, it is Klaxon and Hunter here, and if you guys enjoyed this video, you should subscribe for more RWBY videos and check out the Patreon or becoming a YouTube membership member if you want to see our reactions early and these videos early as well. So, today we have a pretty cool RWBY theory, okay? I teased about this on Twitter. I was like, guys, I have a good fucking theory, and then you could see everybody in my Discord server and Arnold's Discord server basically say, no, Cal, stop it, don't say it, all that sort of stuff. So you guys know when I get that type of reaction, it's definitely gonna be a good one. So we are talking about the person that Fiona was talking to on the phone last episode called Crimson. And if you guys remember, Crimson was working with the Mantle Police to get people into the hospital and to get people safe and stuff. So clearly this is a faction that is either working with the Happy Huntresses or is under the Happy Huntresses. And Hunter and I have had the theory for the past couple episodes that we are gonna see the remnants of the White Fang, and that the White Fang have sort of merged with the Happy Huntresses, since the White Fang's disbandment, and they're all fighting for, like, equality for both human and faunus of Mantle and stuff, and it's all, like, it's all great. And so we were sort of thinking that this Crimson person could be the former White Fang leader, in a sense. However, there could be more to the theory, because that is a solid theory on its own. That next episode, we will see, like, this faunus leader, and, like, they'll be, like, great and cool, and that'll sort of bridge sort of the faunus racism stuff that we didn't really get to see last volume. Like, we saw a little bit, but people were, sort of pressing Kruby to give us a little more of that and to see how the dynamics work, and so this person could be the bridge for that.
My running theory was that we would see another Khan.
Yes.
Sienna Khan's either brother or sister. We're guessing with Crimson it might be a brother or a cousin. Who knows? A child? We don't know. That was the Splinter leader. And something I found interesting is that at the end, when you see the titles, it just says Crimson.
Yeah.
It doesn't say a last name. So my guess was like, oh, maybe Crimson Khan.
Yeah.
But then you came
and
out.
they don't want to spoil it
Yeah.
yet, because it's going to be this spicy reveal. But what I think is happening is, what if Crimson is Adam's brother or relative in some capacity? And I think that this is really, really cool, because think about it, okay? Crimson is red. Adam is red, okay? They're both from Atlas, okay? Adam and Crimson, they're both from Atlas.
SDC tattoo, or not tattoo, brand on his face.
Yeah, Adam has the SDC brand, and this is the slums and the mines, and you see these are the faunus that work in the mines and all of that stuff in this episode. And so I was thinking, like, what if this person could be like Adam's relative or Adam's brother? Like, Adam left Atlas and to go to the cause in Mistral and Vale, but he stayed in Atlas, and he was leading, like, this section of the White Fang, and they're, like, polar opposites. Adam is, a monster, and then this guy is, like, a fluffy cinnamon roll boy. Like, obviously, he still gets shit done a lot like Fiona, but he's a much nicer character and a much different character compared to Adam.
He's Adam, but he's soft.
Yeah, he's soft
Crimson
Adam.
Taurus.
If Adam did not be bad and do the bads,
Yes.
do the bad things, right?
So, on its head, I think that's really interesting. It gets our idea. If we see more of the White Fang, it can expand on the White Fang, because it kind of feels like they just dropped it after Volume 4, and a lot of people had issue with that. So it'll continue to be interesting. It'll explain... It makes a lot of sense that the Happy Huntresses and the White Fang would be friends. Like, Fiona, it's implied in this most recent episode that she came from the slums. Yeah. Where likely so did Adam and maybe Crimson Taurus.
Yeah, exactly. I like how we're calling him Crimson Taurus
That's
already,
his name
too.
now.
And here's the other thing. Think about it. The person that Yang was supposed to be helping in this episode clear out, like, the West End or something was supposed to be Crimson. And so what if what happens is that Yang and them chase after Oscar, they realize they can't get them, they decide to go help Crimson, and then Yang actually sees him and gets, like, that Adam PTSD moment, but Blake's not there to calm her down or to help her at all. And that's, like, a real struggle for Yang, because what we've been seeing these last couple episodes is sort of, especially in their facial expressions, like, you hear when, I think it's May mentions, like, oh, the rest of your team, to Nora and Blake. You see that Blake has a look in her eye, and then Nora actually, like, stands there and thinks about it, and then she falls behind a little bit before they go into the snowshoe shipping area, and then obviously you hear Fiona mention that, and Yang's pissed, Ren just walks away, like, very similar type of thing. And so if they're trying to showcase, how the couples need each other, how Ren and Nora and Blake and Yang need each other, this could be a moment. Right? Because, you know, Ren and Jean, they don't really understand. Like, I would say that they probably don't understand. They weren't there for what happened with Adam. They weren't there. They know about it, like, roughly, right? But they weren't there. They weren't there like Blake. They don't understand like Blake does. And so I feel like if Yang starts freaking out, Jean is gonna, like, has Jean even seen Adam? Other than on the news. Have Jean and Ren even seen Adam, right?
I think Adam makes more sense than Sienna Khan because they've all seen Adam, like, at the end of Volume 5. None of them have seen Sienna Khan.
I guess so. Like, they've seen Adam from a distance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean. I'm like, Jean and Ren probably wouldn't see Crimson and know right away that he looks like Adam, right? Because there was a considerable amount of separation between where Jean, Ren, and like all of them were fighting, and then where Adam's son and Blake were all fighting. You know what I mean? Like they didn't get all close up and personal with Adam, and so they don't really know. And so I feel like that, not that they won't be able to help her, but it would be a really interesting scene. And listen, okay, he doesn't need to be Adam's brother. I think that it
I'll settle for a cousin.
I'll settle, not even for that, but like it could just be someone who like has red hair and a brand, and that reminds her of Adam, right? Like not everyone needs to be related, but I would like this character to sort of, you know, like remind us, I guess, remind us of like how the Faunus live down here, if that makes sense. And so I feel like they could do that with Crimson's faction, even if he has no association with Adam, they could still make it so you see him and you see like probably the other people he has around them, and you see like Faunus that have clearly been abused by the SDC and all of that, and by being in the slums. We sort of have this idea too from Fiona, like Fiona is helping all of these people. The Faunus are helping all of these people, right? That's what Yang says. Yang is like, the Faunus, like, you know, want to help you and want to take you in and all that stuff. And so then we get that sort of idea of, you know, seeing Crimson and these other Faunus huntsmen, like, defending and fighting against the Grimm, like, despite what, like, others have done to them, right?
They're working with the police, which is, like, even if you're not, like, I mean, the White Fang is classified as a terrorist organization. Even if they're an offshoot that's less of a terrorist and more just a social justice organization, like, that's still pretty interesting that they would show that sort of, like,
oh, the police are helping us get people to the hospital, right? And that can show the cooperation between those branches compared to what we've seen previously in the show. Here you sort of have, like, 3 different groups in Mantle, you would think, like, all working together for the cause of keeping everyone safe. And I just think that would be beautiful compared to what has happened in the past with the show and all that stuff.
2 things I would like to say how I imagined this going out is that I imagine Yang is probably going to be Yang if she's the one at the bottom. Yang or Blake or whoever, they will see Crimson, and I imagine Crimson looks very similar to Adam. He probably doesn't have the SDC brand, at least on the same place.
Probably not.
I imagine red hair.
Yeah.
And I imagine bull horns.
For me, I imagine like long red hair, like almost like, I don't know how to explain it. But you know what would be kind of cool is that if Yang, Jean, and Ren get to the area, but they don't see the White Fang people yet, like they get to an area, they start fighting the Grimm, Yang turns around like to see who's helping her fight, and it's just like, hi, Crimson here, right? Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Maybe. Like that they're all fighting the Grimm, and then they don't sort of realize who they're fighting with until Yang turns around and she's like, whoa! And that, I could see that as how, like, a situation would escalate into a fight, but I don't think they'd just be like, hey there, fellas, and then Yang would jump on them, you know what I'm saying?
I imagine it would be like a tussle.
Yeah, sure. Something like that.
One thing I am concerned, though, is that I think what was so excellent about Adam's scenes in Volume 6 is that it's done so much so with visual storytelling.
Sure.
We don't get a scene where they just sit around a campfire complaining their woes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that won't happen.
And I'm concerned that they might do that. I just hope they do it in a subtle way.
How I picture this, though, is that you just see everyone. So you see a bird Faunus that has clearly, like, lost a wing or had their wings visually clipped. You have, like, Faunus that have, like, horns removed. You have Faunus with the SDC logos, maybe with burns and, like, with other marks that clearly show it, but that you don't need the exposition of it because you can clearly see that they have suffered.
It would
you know what I'm saying? By the SDC.
It would be interesting to see if maybe he had lost a limb. Yeah. Like an arm, like, in the mines. And so maybe it could be a moment of comparison between Yang and
I know,
him that
we're also talking a lot about suffering. I don't mean, like, I I don't want them to be suffering currently. I'm just saying that the hardships that they've went through are visual to the audience, and just to clarify.
So they don't just, so you can show it and not just sit around being like, oh yeah, it was rough. It's not about misery porn, where we just want to see them be miserable and have horrible things happen to them. It's about visual storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. As an audience, we can sort of visually see what they've gone through without them having to, like, explicitly state it. And I like that idea of them all fighting the Grimm. Yang turns around and sees him, and after the Grimm are done, they sort of all stop, and you sort of see all of the Faunus, and it's just like this heartbreaking, somber moment, but at the same time, they are, you know, so strong in how they are helping everyone. They're resilient, and they're strong, and they're trying to do their best to help everyone around them, and they're so different compared to, like, the toxic attitude that Adam had. And, like, Adam wanted basically the reverse to happen. Like, they wanted to enslave humanity, but you see these, like, these Faunus, even though this guy may be related to Adam, they don't see, like, supremacy. They want equality. They want to help everyone. They want them all to be safe, because they're all the same. They're all from Mantle, and Atlas doesn't care about any of them equally, right? And so that's sort of how I'm thinking. So yeah.
I think there's a lot of possibility for some really. I like the idea of him, like, having a robot arm as well.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
I like maybe just a brief conversation of, like, hey, I knew Adam when he was younger. You know, we're all shaped by this world.
Yeah.
You have to choose if you're, you know, fighting for good or doing what he did.
Yeah.
Put it broadly. I think that would be it. No, don't make it long. Make it just short and sweet and to the point. I really hope. I honestly. This might be it. This might be it.
Carrie, Miles, Kiersey, and Eddie do another RWBY rewatch next week, and they're just like, guys, Crimson wasn't related to Adam.
But it's so perfect. It's the red. They're an Atlas. He could be a Faunus.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It is. It's very perfect.
I think you're on something.
But I just imagine, because they did, I don't know if they're doing the rewatches every week, but if they do more question answering and someone's like, yeah, so are we going to see more of Crimson? And they're just like, no.
He was just a background.
You're
not seeing any more Lisa Lavender either, okay? Like, cool your jets.
But yeah, that would be funny. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This was a really fun one to do, and I think Hunter is right. Like, this one has everything.
I think this is it. I think this is
it. He
it.
thinks that this is it. So
this isn't a drugged casserole. This is it.
This is it. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.